The White House is funding a 5-year research plan into blocking out the sun in order to fight climate change. More specifically, they're looking into a concept called solar geoengineering, which essentially describes all the technologies and science involved into reflecting sunlight away from the Earth to cool it down. As sci-fi as it sounds, we've actually seen solar geoengineering happen before in the past, particularly whenever there's a big volcanic explosion. For example, back in 1816, the Tambora volcano exploded in Indonesia and resulted in what was known in Europe as the year without a summer, after global temperatures plummeted by as much as 3 degrees Celsius. Then things got real. That year saw massive crop failures, winters arriving super early, and widespread famine due to the volcano exploding and blocking out sunlight. Critics are afraid the same thing might happen if we do solar geoengineering now. But one climate scientist I talked to for this article put it best. It's like the airbags in your car. You never want to use them, but you'll be glad you have them when you do. Anyway, check out my article at thedailybeast.com where I write all about innovation and technology as the deputy editor there. And follow me for more.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about today is the fact that the U.S. government has something called a 5-year plan. And included in that 5-year plan is the fact that they want to block out the sun to help with climate change. And this is, this could be a very dangerous thing to do. On October 13th, the White House announced that it was funding a 5-year research plan, like I said, into one of the most controversial proposals for fighting climate change out there, okay? Geoengineering, or the technologies and innovations that can be used to artificially modify the Earth's climate. Now, the report will be dedicated specifically to form of geoengineering known as solar radiation management. And this is a technique that essentially involves spraying fine aerosols into the atmosphere to reflect the sunlight away from the Earth. And the idea is that once it's reflected, there will be less heat and temperatures will go down. So the research plan will be modeling how SRM might impact the atmosphere and assess its viability as a potential technique used to manage near-term climate risks. Put it another way, we want to know whether or not we should include this in our break glass in case of climate disaster box.
Those ideas out of the lab and back them even when they're very high risk. And you need partnerships with big companies, and then you need somebody who's willing to buy the products to catalytically create volume to bring those prices down.
What you're talking about is effectively government subsidy, aren't you?
Yes, because of the damage climate will bring, we need to have price signals to tell the private sector that we want green products. Because right now, you don't see the pain you're causing as you emit carbon dioxide.
Look, isn't it a little bit rich, Bill Gates urging more government intervention? Because when you were building Microsoft, you battled governments around the world, arguing regulation stifled your ability to innovate.
Climate, without government policies, there's no way we won't work ourselves into an incredible disaster.
So the U.S. government is recognizing that we might have to turn to incredibly drastic experimental measures in order to stop climate disaster, blocking out the sun. If the U.S. does so, many other countries might follow as well. Yeah. Because other countries didn't want to do this. So I guess the U.S. said, well, if we do it first, then everybody else will want to do it too. All right. But, of course, such a measure does not come without risk. Okay, you all know what these risks are, but I'll name them anyway. So geoengineering critics, okay, they are warning that it could have unintended consequences that ripple all over the globe, all right? After all, when you spray aerosols, okay, do you remember in science class, like in the 4th and 5th grade, it was called CDC, okay? Or no, sorry, CFC, chlorofluorocarbon. Okay, that's why they tried to ban aerosols like hairsprays and stuff like that, because right on the label it said might contain CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons. Do you remember that? And like it was literally like 4th and 5th science class. We learned about CFCs. Yeah. Okay, I remember that. So when you spray these aerosols into the atmosphere, they're going to spread out. That's why they tried to ban aerosol hairsprays. And remember, because everybody was wearing Aquanet in the 80s and spraying them and our hair stuck up like that. Remember that? Yeah. Being from Philly and Atlantic City, everybody had the big hair and they're all stuck up like that. Okay? I remember because it was called Philly hair. I swear. But anyway, it affects, would be felt everywhere. No matter where you sprayed it initially, it's going to spread. All right. And this could be like a butterfly effect. Okay. Disastrous events. For example, okay, temperatures would dip down so low that it would result in crop losses everywhere. Everywhere. Which would, we would experience before in the year without a summer. Okay? Just think of it that way. Changes to the atmosphere could also intensify weather events like storms. Okay. You think our hurricane seasons are bad now? Living down here in the South? You ain't seen nothing yet. Okay? So some researchers, they're even suggesting that solar geoengineering could even spread diseases, man. You think our cold and flu seasons are bad? Just wait. Just wait. They want to block it out to try and save us. My God. Hey, potato. Stop, man. Just stop. All right? You don't know what you're doing. Just go sit down. Okay? Go sit down. All right, I'm out of here. I appreciate you. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fear less. Ciao.